Okay, I'm gonna call this one Cary Coatney Comic Book Notes number 2. Why I'm not going to San Diego this year. I'm stuck. Stuck in LA. Even though I took the time off, I'm going on vacation Thursday, and that's the 24th through Monday, August 4th. But I'm not going to San Diego. Taking the time to honor San Diego. And there's a lot of stuff to do in Los Angeles anyway that is sort of comic book related. And I really do. Yeah, well, here's it's a downer for me to go to San Diego this year because it's we keep losing people in the industry that I liked hanging around with. And top of the list, Peter David's. We lost Peter David early this year. No, it's always a pleasure to go talk to him. Jim Shooter's not around, even though I haven't really talked to him. I've always seen him at shows. Um, but Elliot Magnin will be there. He's going to be hawking his new LexCorp book. Well, not his new book. I think he's it's out for a year or two now, but I haven't got myself a copy of it yet. I've got a hat. I got a cap. I bought a cap from off him at 1 year at San Diego. That has his LexCorp logo on it. But well, the stuff to do like the Skirball Center, which is over at in the borders on Brentwood and it's down to 405, and it's a Jewish museum that's a few just like a I say a mile or two up from the Getty, and they happen to have a Jack Kirby exhibit over there, and it happens to be free on Thursday, so I'm probably gonna be doing that instead. I went to Jack Kirby Gallery last year downtown LA, and it was just wonderful stuff. So I'll be excited to do that rather than said. And then Friday, I'm gonna go see Fantastic Four. I'm gonna get up and see the first four XD showing over in North Hollywood at the Regal Theaters. No one likes to go to the first showing in the morning, so I'm always guaranteed a seat. The show starts at the movie screens at 9:20 in the morning, so it's like me getting up for a regular work day. I do this a lot. Every time when a Marvel or DC movie comes out, I take the day off. It's paid, so I get up. I go to the movie theater. Either I have the Regal Theaters in North Hollywood to see my Marvel films. And since a lot of the DC films are filmed in IMAX, Superman was, well, I heard it was formatted for IMAX cameras, but I wanted to see the IMAX anyway, over at Burbank Town Center, and of course I did those videos with the Green Lantern statue, which is like a hoof and a half away from across the highway from the town center. So I'm just checking, looking at my stupid stats on my blog. I can't believe these people still read these things about Harry Brazigian. Look at this six. This is from yesterday's. I got 34 reads yesterday, and I got Harry Brazigian here. There, Hugh O'Connor, which is the Harry Brazigian related blog, and what else have I got? Oh, all right. So 10 mornings later. Okay, I'm glad because that was the last one I wrote last year, but these Harry Brazigian blogs they just nobody wants to read the new stuff that I write. Look, eight reads on last Saturday. The one I wrote on the life of on covering the funeral of Barry Rubinowitz, who's a writer on Happy Days, is getting some traction at least. But I'm sick and tired of it. And there's other stuff. There's stuff to buy other than that on comic books this year. This one I want to get. I've been jonesing to see this series for a long, long time. I remember watching this on Saturday nights. I think 6 or 6. Anyway, it was actually one of the few cartoons that my mom used to watch with me. I don't know why, but she liked the theme song, and it's a if you look at, it's sort of a animated version of All in the Family, I guess. It's got that same formula. And another thing I want to start on Sunday morning is I want to start getting these 007 4K releases. Starting off with the Sean Connery ones. I'm hoping they do at least one 4K release of the George Lansbury movie On Your Majesty's Secret Service, because I hate to watch them out of order. But I'm excited. I'm going to order these two. I'm going to spend my cash instead of old comic books this year. I'm going to get these two sets. What else can I talk about? Let's see. Oh well, another thing about comic books here. I mean, you probably, this is what I'm still working on this crap. Believe it or not, this is all the comic books. I got this whole area over here. This is stuff I'm pulling from boxes in my living room and finding worth money. From between 10 and $50. I've been pulling these books. These books are not going to be for sale. However, some of these I'm going to go through. Whatever I find is less than $10, I'm going to pull. And these are all my everything from $0 to $10 books. These are the ones that I'm going to be selling probably in September or October. I'm probably going to start doing I'm going to probably do a fall sale, and I'm going to probably be selling short boxes like that. Those short boxes over there. I'm probably going to be selling those for $75 a piece, and all the books are going to have to be bagged and boarded. And because I don't want people pulling the bags and boards. Like the last time I had a sale, I was selling books out of my house. I had books in practically everything in bags and boards, and some one or two idiots had to go in and pull the bags and boards out, and I did not like that, man. That really sucked balls. Of course, I'm gonna keep some of this stuff in these piles. I mean, it's gonna be sad not to see Cal and Brad and all the other people I deal with this year. I'm gonna try to buy some new stuff in fall, but I can't right now. You see all this stuff. Oh man, I gotta get the light on here. Look at this stuff. These are comic books I've yet to put in boxes. I mean, I don't know how many short boxes this would take. I got some here. I got a little pile here. I got boxes over here. But there's another area that I have to put into short boxes, and that's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna buy like 10 boxes. I'm hoping that 10 will do it. What else is going on here is this is great. I probably want to pull my old keyboards out, and I want to see if I can start learning to play some of this Hugh Barton stuff. I'm getting the Van de Graaff generator lately, and I'm kind of digging Hugh Barton's work on there. Oh yeah. Here's another thing I'm working on too. Working on this Jethro Tull box set of Still Living in the Past. This is from the era of Tull I wasn't really into, but it's like a compilation thing. But it's got some really nifty stuff on here, like an entire live concert from 1970, taped at Carnegie Hall. I mean, and mixed in 5.1 by Stephen Wilson. How can I go wrong with this? I'm glad I got it because I was going to skip over to my record retailer. Bought me into. He talked me into getting this, and I'm glad I took his advice because this is some good stuff on here, some real treasures on there. All right, so one of the things I want to discuss in this box. I've been thinking about this box lately, and I last time I went to Jersey, this was like 2019. I had all this stuff shipped back out to me. These are all my Doc Savage books from when I was a kid. I graduated fast. See, my mom used to read me Hardy Boy books and Tom Swift books. I just got tired of them. So I started reading the Hardy Boy books on my own. I got tired of Hardy Boys. So I don't know the genesis of this. These are all paperback reprints of the old pulp magazines of Doc Savage. Now I have almost all of them in here. There's a certain point where I had to stop. But this is like I've had this book since I was 8 or 9 years old. I read this in like second grade, this book. And I don't remember a single goddamn thing that happens in this book. A lot of these stories I don't remember. I want to read this one really badly because I found out that this was supposed to be adapted into a movie in 1966 with Chuck Connors playing Doc Savage. And there's a Gold Key comic book that did a one-issue adaptation of what the movie would have been. So I sort of want to read this one again, and compare it to the comic book that I have. And I would love. I wish they would do a movie. Give it another chance, man, or do an HBO series. The only thing, other than the Doc Savage movie that starred Ron Ely, who passed away recently, is there was NPR did a like old time radio show version of Doc Savage. I mean, was it in the 80s or 90s or something like that? What else was I going to say? The Rock made it. The Rock made it hell. Made it into development hell. And I'm the guy. I'm going to let you know a secret. I'm the guy who walked up to, what's his name at Warner Brothers? Joel Silver. After I saw The Runaway, which starred Dwayne Johnson, I said, I was like talking to Joe Silver maybe in the W cafeteria, just passing, or not the cafeteria per se, but the Central Perk. You run into a whole bunch of people at the Central Perk. I remember seeing, I just said, hey, Joe Silver, man, this is crazy, man, that I saw this movie, The Runaway, with The Rock in it, and the whole story reminded me of Doc Savage, a Doc Savage story. It was like, The Rock channeling his inner Doc Savage, and Joel Silver was just looking at me strange, and Doc Savage, what the hell's that, Eventually, he probably researched it, and hey, and all of a sudden, this rumor went spreading around that that Dwayne Johnson would be in contention for a Doc Savage movie, and I wonder how that got spread around. But anyway, here's some of these books here. I try reorganizing them, but let's go through some of them here. The Magi. This is one of the ones I read when I was a kid. Haunted Ocean. These were water damage too. They were in my mom's car trunk, for years and years, and I told her I'm gonna ship these out. I'll finally ship these out, and The Mental Wizard, and this is another one I read when I was 10 years old. I remember this is one of the first ones I read. He Could Stop the World. I sort of remember this one. This was a pretty good one. See how damaged it is. Look at that. Another thing that comes to mind about Doc Savage. Well, let's talk about Doc Savage. He was a character created in 1931 by a pulp novelist by the name of Lester Dent, going under the name of Kenneth Robeson, and he didn't write all of them, but he wrote the main majority of them, and the ones that were not written by him, according to sci-fi author Philip Jose Farmer, who wrote a book, like an imaginary biography of Doc Savage. The stories that were not written by Lester Dent were not considered canon. In other words, there's one called The Land of Always Night. Here's the Cloud, Devil in the Moon. That's a good one. I like that one too. Living Fireman is, and Doc Savage. He had these 5 characters who helped him out. There's Monk, Ham, Johnny, Rennie, and Long Tom. Those were his fabulous 5. They all were all practitioners in profession, in like science and lawyer and chemistry and engineering. And Doc Savage had this meddling cousin who popped in a few ventures here and there. Her name was Pat Savage. She ran like a hair boutique, and she would get into all sorts of crazy adventures with. That's a nice one. All these crazy adventures with Doc once in a while, and just to prove that how wrong he is. Not letting girls fight alongside him. Of course, most of these covers are done by James Bama, who modeled. Damn it, who's the actor? Who played Flash Gordon? And in the TV series, not the movies, not Buster Crabbe, but he used him as the model for all these Doc Savage novels, and some weren't done by Bama. This was not done by Bama. I forget who did this. Who did the artwork in this one? It was a switch over. I think Bama only did like maybe the first 70 covers. God damn it. Oh, I used to know this guy's name too. That one's really badly damaged. The Metal Master. See, I can't really sell these, man. I can't really sell these with these covers all fucked up like this. This was the one I remember fondly from grade school, reading in grade school. This one, yeah, I would go to, my mom would go to the mall, Willowbrook Mall, and Walden's Books would get these on a regular basis, and I go there. They came out like every month or 2 months. A new one would come out, and I always be there. And I like the ones that when they started doing the white covers instead of the white spines instead of the black ones. The black spot. I remember a lot of these later ones. Let's see. What else there were? South Pole Terror. Oh, that was an interesting one. Crimson Serpent. The Devil's Genesis. This was the only title that was a sequel to one called Fortress of Solitude, which is of course Superman aped in the comics, because the Fortress of Solitude book was written before Superman debuted. Other things I want to take out. Oh, this was a good one, the Kingmaker. And this is another thing that pissed me off. This guy reused some of the covers. Look at this. Check that out. I didn't like that. No, indeed. I mean, look. 77, 81. It was not even a year apart. That was a pisser. This was also a reused one. Oh, this guy, Boris. Boris did. There's someone with Boris you pronounce his last name Viligio or something like that? I think he did some of these covers too. I like this artwork on those. The Mountain Monster, the Boss of Terror. These titles are just freaky. Yeah, and what else was I gonna say? Oh, here's the story while I'm going through these. A lot of the ones, the gaps in my collection before I was buying on a regular basis. This is a funny story. It was my high school science class. Now, I must have been reading one of these later ones, maybe like this one. I mean, let me see what year was this publication. I have to, the 78. I wrote 78 here. I don't know, maybe. I had to find one from I read in 1982 or so. 81 or 82. This is a funny story. Here's that. This is the novel here that Philip J. Farmer wrote. I think I read this one several times, over and over again. Okay, so my I was in science class, and I happened to wander off, not finding not finding this certain whatever he was trying to lecture about in class. I wasn't having any of it. So I decided to scan, maybe read a chapter or two in one of these books, and I don't remember his name was Mr. Faber. It was Mr. Faber, and I remember he caught me. Oh, this is. Let me tell you. Okay, these are the very first two books I read. These are the very first two books I read. So anyway, Mr. Faber caught me reading a chapter 2, and he took the book away from me. Of course, not all teachers did that. You know, they teach you wearing. But he just looked at. Oh, so this one. Yeah. Is this one of the newer ones? I go, yeah. Hold on a second here. So he gives me the book back, right in the middle of the class too. He went into one of these side cabinets, and he pushed up the side of the door open. He pulled out this box, and he just threw it right in front of me. And he said, "Here, I've been looking for a way to get rid of these for years." And inside was a full box. I mean, just like this, full of Doc Savage books. It's like, I just stand. What? Yeah. Not and every one of those books that he had, I didn't have in that box. So that one, that really helped me in the collection. Let's see. It was. And I think another way I remember I found a bookstore in Morristown, New Jersey, that had a bunch of them, and I filled a lot of gaps. And I have a double this one somewhere. Dagger of the Sky. Like, see that? Look at this. This is bullshit. Evil Gnome and Red Snow. Look at these two. It's the same thing. Yeah. Man Who Shook the Earth. The Green Dead. There's a whole bunch of them here. So later on, the novels got shorter and shorter as they went on, and they managed to print 2. They could put 2 in one book, and I remember reading a lot of these while delivering my papers. I had balanced 4 paper routes when I was a kid. Through my apartments, I had like 2 freebie papers, and I had 2 routes of the local paper in 2 different apartment complexes, and I delivered them every day after school. I would get done delivering papers. I get home maybe at 3:30 from high school, and I'd be taking me like 2-3 hours to deliver papers. But I always had a Doc Savage book to read, to keep me busy while, I'm going from apartment to apartment. There's one certain Doc Savage book that that was not a reprint, but rather a lost one of, I remember the damn title of it. There's something, it's called, The Hate Genius. That's what it was called. And it was Doc Savage against Hitler. And I know I have that one. What else? That one. And also as they reprinted the ones from the 40s, they started fitting up to 4 to 5 of them because the stories got so short. Because Doc Savage magazine was just crashing. I mean, it went from just at World War II was starting. The books the magazine wasn't started declining in sales, and Doc Savage was getting older. He was getting written different. The adventures were no longer against like scientific supervillains and such. They started coming down to spies and just swindlers and and whatever. And this one, I kept this one. I sold a bunch of omnibuses, but I kept this one because these have the last 5 Doc Savage books, adventures written, including the one where he goes down to hell itself. Jeez. And I remember I stopped reading them for a bit because they weren't old ones to reprint anymore, except some guy who was doing the Savage one reprints, not the Savage, the Shadow reprints. He started doing the Doc Savage one, and I bought a few of them there. They started doing all new ones, and Phil Joseph Farmer wrote a sort of an origin story for Doc Savage called Escape from Loki. And this one details how he met his 5 assistants, Monk, Ham, Johnny, Rennie, and Long Tom. And he met him in a prison camp during World War I. And became new novels. These are only the 2 I have. I know there are more. I know I read some other ones, but I must have traded them in or whatever, and that's that with Doc Savage. What other stuff? I have other stuff besides Doc Savage. I was also a big fan of the Shadow reprints that Pyramid did. I remember reading these when I was in 3rd or 4th grade. There were 12 of them at the time. And the series paused and reset itself. And I remember staying with my aunts here out in Westminster, Laguna Beach. And I bought a stack of them at various bookstores. And there's another one. There's another one. And there's the first one there. Oh, there's more Doc Savage. Oh, how about that? Get that one in here. Ah, there it is. This is like a lost one from 19... Oh, wait, was it this one? Oh, no, it was Red Spider. I'm sorry. The Red Spider was a... it was a lost novel of this detailed Doc Savage going into Russia to fight communism. And, what's that? Any other ones? Yeah. Here's a big little book of Batman that I had. Some Marvel reprints. Some John Byrne stuff. Daredevil reprints. These were fun to read. Here's some Green Lantern goodness in a little digest size here. I had Doctor Who. I collected these too. I read these. I got rid of a lot of them. Oh yeah, I gave them to my half brother out in Nebraska. He was a big Doctor Who fan, so I bequeathed my collection to him. Daredevil, interesting. They're fun. There's a Fantastic Four one. Oh, and they did some original novels back in the day. Of according to this one, I read this one in high school. I dated my books like a schlep. May 1970. They did some original novels, and whoever this Joseph Silva is. And these ones. Oh, anything else I'm missing here? Anyway, that's about it. I hope those of you going to San Diego have a blast. This is the first one I'll be missing in 19 years. Give or take, only 19 in a row, give or take. The ones that weren't on, I don't count the ones that were online during the pandemic. But I missed one back in 2006 because my girlfriend at the time wouldn't let me go. And yeah, I'll know how my mindset will be next year. If I want to keep doing this San Diego thing, it's just a lot of money, a lot of time, and I don't have. For the past, I don't know, 10 years I've been going down there. I haven't been able to get a hotel room or nothing up there, or I have any friends down there to stay with anymore. Everybody's life has gone on, and I'm in my 60s now, and I just don't have. I just can't go popping over and staying over people's houses anymore like I used to. Anyway, have a great time. Bye.